Hello everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm a long-term volunteer with Cops and Kids. And today I am celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And what better way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day than to read How to Catch a Leprechaun, words by Adam Wallace and pictures by Andy Elkerton. And then I will show you how to make your very own leprechaun trap. So let's get started. The night is dark, the streets are quiet. St. Patrick's Day is near. I tap my hammer so you'll know the leprechaun is here. I'll pull out all your laces, put glitter in your hair, and when you walk around, you'll see my gold coins everywhere. I don't mind seeing some gold coins. You'll never catch me in your trap, but yes, I'll make a scene. I'll turn the whole place upside down. Your toilet will be green. Yuck. House number 1, I'm going in. Really? That's your trap? I'm in and out. Without a doubt, that one was a snap. And now I think it's getting worse. A shoebox on a stick? I'll dance a jig and still escape. We leprechauns are quick. Another house. I fixed your shoes. They really were quite smelly. I'll eat the nuts you left as bait and leave with a full belly. He's so fast. He gets by every trap. Now you're talking. Look at this. It's dandelion tea. But I'm too speedy for your trap. This tea is mine for free. I know you want my pot of gold. That iron cage was very clever. But I've been alive 200 years. You won't catch me, ever. Jeez. Ha 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 ha. Now you're getting fancy, but I'll escape with twinkle toes. It's a fancy pantsy dancy. It seems to me an engineer has helped with this design. Too bad this little leprechaun is going to be just fine. Your entire house is one big trap. From ceiling to the floor. Nice try indeed, but soon enough, I'll stroll right out the door. The leprechaun be gone. 3,000 gave me quite a scare. But without a 4-leaf clover, I won't be caught in there. Sounds like he needs a 4-leaf clover to be caught. But I don't see it in any of these piles of junk, any clovers nearby. You'll never catch this leprechaun. Impossible. That's a fact. Unless one day, a brilliant child designs the perfect trap. But who will that child be? Look at all these kids. They're all planning their traps. Better luck next year, he says. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try and make some leprechaun traps to try and catch our very own leprechaun. All right, now it's time to make some traps. So I have one example right over here with a box and a lid, and in the lid I put in some coins, some gold coins, some shamrocks, and a big old pot of gold. So hopefully the leprechaun will tiptoe into there, and he'll knock the stick off, and he'll be trapped, and I'll catch my own leprechaun. But I can show you a few different ways to make some traps. So first way is with a box. Any kind of box will do. I'm using an Amazon box. I did already cut off the side pieces except for the one, just so it's a little bit more sturdy when I have it like bent over. You'll need some bamboo skewers. You can get these at any grocery store, even the dollar store, a whole pack of them. You only really need 2, just so that way you can kind of stand up your box. So that way, see right like that? So when he goes in, the little leprechaun, to take whatever bait you leave, it'll knock him over and he'll be trapped. You'll also need some construction paper, some markers, maybe some stickers, anything to decorate, and definitely something sticky like glue. I have tacky glue, glue stick, or tape. I'm going to use tape for the sake of drying time as well. So without further ado, let's get decorating our box. And I already cut out some construction paper pieces just so that way you're not sticking with me forever. But I'm going to make my box green because I think leprechauns like the color green. I mean, look at my outfit. It's for St. Patrick's Day, of course. So I'm going to tape on some pieces of green paper that fits the side of the boxes pretty well. So that way it stays on just like that. So you can see I have the nice box all covered up. And now I'm going to do the side pieces. where he'll see it, and then I'm going to decorate it. And the best way to decorate it, I'm thinking, is with some shamrocks, maybe some gold pieces. I have some glitter, things like that. Anything you can find in your house that you think he might like, maybe even Lucky Charms, like the cereal. After all, there is a leprechaun on that box. Anything that you think will make a leprechaun want to come and take some treats, that's what I would recommend putting on the inside of your box. All right, so I'm going to tape those sides. One last little piece there. So you can see it's green all the way around. I'm going to do this one. I'll show you how I kind of measure it. That makes it a little bit easier. So I take a nice piece of construction paper. I put my box kind of on the corner there, and I take a pencil, and I just kind of guideline it out. So it's like that. And you can see it's a rough little pencil mark. So then I cut it out. I try and make it as straight as possible, but it doesn't need to be perfect. After all, it's just for decoration to try and get him to be trapped. I hope I do catch a leprechaun. All right. So then I'm going to flip that upside down, tape that there as well. So you can see I have some gaps because I didn't glue it, but that's okay. If you make it a little bit nicer with some glue, I'm sure it'll be even prettier than mine. But for now, just for the sake of you watching the video, I'm just going to tape, 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 tape. There we go. So you can see it is green all the way around where you'll see it. I'm going to put it up like this. And then I have to think about, how do I want to decorate the outside? Like maybe I want to make a sign that says, "Leprechauns, come here." Maybe leprechauns will want to come take a visit. Maybe I want to draw something on. Maybe I want to say, "Welcome." So right on the front, I'm going to write in all caps, "Welcome." And put it in all caps, so that way leprechauns will think it's a nice friendly spot to come and get some treats. I do have some stickers that I'm going to decorate with that are for St. Patrick's Day. So I'm thinking on my stickers, I'm going to use maybe a hat, because St. Patrick's Day, I mean, I have my lucky hat on, and I know leprechauns love some hats. Maybe I'll put some shamrocks on, but you can decorate it however you want. And say you don't have stickers, then you can draw them on yourself. So I'm going to put on the outside some circles with a dollar sign, so it's like little bits of coins all along the edges. So maybe he'll think there's some riches or treasure in this. Just like that. The more gold, the better. Leprechauns love their pot of gold. So you can see I added some gold coins. And then it's time to set up with bait. So you need to figure out what do you think a leprechaun likes? I mean, in the book, they said they like shamrocks. So I have mine kind of set up, you can see, a little bit like this, with some little bit of decoration on the outside. If it falls down, you can just put it right back up like that. But I do have a nice little pot of shamrocks, because in the book, if you remember, 4-leaf clovers were what they needed for the Leprechaun Catcher 3000. So I'm going to put a nice pot of leprechauns right there. Maybe I want some gold coins with some glitter. And maybe another shamrock, just in case, because this one's extra special because it has some glitter. And you can see, and then I just kind of leave it there. And maybe I'll put it right by my windowsill where a leprechaun might sneak in. Maybe I'll put it on the floor right where a door might be coming in, so that way they can sneak in there. And you have to see if you can catch it any day of the week. I mean, I'm thinking March 17th, you know, St. Patrick's Day might be the best day to catch a leprechaun, but you can keep this up year round. But I'm going to take down my trap for now, because I have one more craft I'm going to show you. And it's how to make your own little leprechaun friend using toilet paper rolls. It's nice and easy, I promise you, and it's quick. You only need a toilet paper roll or paper towel roll and some construction paper and something sticky like glue, tape, anything like that. So I'm going to grab some green construction paper to start because I want him to wear a green hat. And I'm going to cut a nice big strip because I want him to be wearing a tall hat. Just like mine, except maybe a little bit taller. But you can see when I wrap it around, it's going to look like a hat. So the way I do it is with some tape, because I think it's easier to tape this. So I'm going to start by putting it on the edge here, adding some tape the first time around, looping it, making sure it's nice and tight. And then where it finishes, I'm going to add one more piece of tape. Just like that. So then it's a nice, looks like a second piece of toilet paper roll that's just attached. And then I'm going to do another thinner strip. You can see at the bottom, I'll show you the back, for his clothes, because you don't want a naked leprechaun. I'll add this a little bit thinner, another strip, just like that. And just like before, I'm going to tape down the first little piece, make sure it's straight and stuck on there, and wrap it around nice and tight, because you don't want any bubbles. And when you get to the end, all wrapped up, add another piece of tape or glue, glue works too. And you can see you have a nice little 2 sheets of green. Next up, I'm gonna grab a little bit of black for like the belt buckle that's on his hat usually. And this one's gonna be a thin strip again. Nice little strip of construction paper. There we go. Ooh, almost dropped it. And you start it again. Add a little piece of tape. Tape is my best friend today, but you can use glue. And I'm going to wrap it around and tape it at the end. So you can see you have the nice black strip for the hat, and we're going to add some more decor. You only need a very little bit of yellow, very little bit. And I already have one started, so I'm going to use the same one. I cut out a nice tiny little square as best I can, or rectangle will work. I'm going to show you how small it is. Nice and small. And because I don't want to cut even smaller of a rectangle for the black, I'm just going to draw it on with a marker. So I add a nice little black marker, just like that. So now it looks like a belt buckle, just like that. Nice and easy. And then I'm going to add that to his thing. But because it's so small, I'm going to use a little bit of glue. So I put a nice tiny little dab where I want it. If it comes out nice and easy, tiny little mark. There we go. Just a tiny little bit. You only need a little bit of glue. And don't forget to put the caps on or else you're going to spill some glue, and I don't want any messy rooms. All right. Stick that on. I hold it down for a few seconds to make sure it's nice and stuck on there. And you can see now he has a little belt buckle. And just like our little leprechaun friend here, you can see I added an orange beard for the leprechaun. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to get a nice piece of orange paper. The best way I do this is cutting out a rectangle, smaller in size. I usually start about this big and trim it down as necessary. I might make it a little bit smaller right now, and we'll see. You can kind of see how big it should be. I'm going to say like that. And you have to cut out so that way you can see the face. So I do a nice little half circle in between, right in the middle. And if it's not even, don't worry, you can keep cutting, and you can always use more paper if you mess up. All right. So you can see it's kind of like supposed to be a mini beard, and I'm going to see how that fits. I say that fits pretty good. And the best way I add texture, you can see here, is I cut little tiny strips into the construction paper, so that way you can see how it kind of flows a little bit. But be careful, you might want to ask an adult for help on this because you're using scissors. And I just cut nice tiny little thin strips right on the edges, back to back. And it's just kind of the same way you would like cut grass, like if you're making grass out of construction paper, except I'm doing it with a beard. So you can see there, I kind of fold them up, and it looks like a little beard. It's nice and easy. And now I'm going to add that piece in, tape that, so that way you don't have to wait for it to dry. A lot of tape on this guy, but he's going to be sturdy, that's for sure. So you can see it's starting to look like a little leprechaun, just like that. And now he's missing a face. We need to add in our face. If you have some googly eyes, you can use that. If you just want to draw them on with a marker, you can do that too. So I do 2 nice little eyes. I'm going to make him look like he's looking upward. Give him a nice little button nose. And I'm going to make him happy. So you can see, now he's a happy little leprechaun. And the last thing you can do, this is totally up to you. You can just leave him as this. Now he's a nice little leprechaun. For this guy, I added in these little arms. And you can see he has a little hand here. And in this hand, he's holding a nice pot of gold. So the best way I do this, and I'm going to show you on an extra piece of strip paper, is when you cut out the arms, I'll show you on this scrap paper, to make them zigzaggy, you fold them. So you start here, and then you fold in the opposite direction. And you just keep it going, and you're going to keep folding it in half. And then when you spread them out, it's like a little zigzag. So now it's like a nice little arm that you can add in. And you can add in a shamrock. Maybe he's holding a shamrock. Maybe he's holding a pot of gold. Maybe he's holding one gold coin. Maybe he has a sign that says, hello. You never know. You can add whatever you want to make him holding whatever. But I have my guy holding a nice pot of gold because he's lucky. And then the last craft that I will show you is a nice little hanging wreath. So the best way to do this is cutting out either a piece of foam if you have it, some nice cardboard, cardstock, something a little bit thicker and more durable. So that way you can stick stickers to it, you can draw on it, and you can make it St. Patrick's Day theme. So I already have a foam piece cut out. It's nice like this. And you can just add stickers as you please. And I don't want to waste too much time because I know time is precious. But I'll show you what I did on this one. I added a gold coin, I added a Happy St. Patrick's Day sticker, a nice rainbow, a pot of gold, some extra shamrock, some glitter, some different color greens. I wanted to make it look nice and crowded because it's nice St. Patrick's Day. And what I use is to tie this is any ribbon. I used yellow because I wanted to not use green. I didn't want too much green. So I used yellow, but you can use string, you can use yarn, you can use anything you have around your house just to get it to hang. It'll be a nice decoration for your door, for your window, anything like that. I hope you had fun with me celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And now Alan is going to sing you a nice Irish song.
My name's Alan Burnt. I am a musician in the Lehigh Valley, and to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to play an Irish song. A long time ago when the earth was green, there were more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born, but the loveliest of them all was the unicorn. There were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you were born, the loveliest of all was a unicorn. Now God seen some sinning, and it gave him pain. He said, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. He said, hey brother Noah, I'll tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo. And take some of them green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn. Old Noah was there to answer the call. He finished up making the ark just as the rain started to fall. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called them as they went through. Hey Lord, I've got you green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure I'm so forlorn, I just can't see no unicorn. Then Noah looked out through the driving rain. Them unicorns were hiding, playing silly games, kicking and splashing while the rain was pouring. Oh, them silly unicorns. There were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees. Noah, close the door, 'cause the rain is pouring, and we just can't wait for no unicorn. The ark started moving, it drifted with the tide. The unicorns looked up from the rocks and they cried. The waters came down and sort of floated them away, and that's why you'll never see a unicorn this very day. But you'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no unicorn. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you had fun. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Sláinte.